Alright, so perhaps I'm a little bit late on the draw again. I just really wasn't, man, I don't know. You know what? No excuses. Welcome to Phoenix. Phoenix, Arizona, that is. Still I-17 southbound. And we've gone through probably a good majority of Phoenix by this point already, but, you know, I was like, you know, it's Phoenix. Nothing really special to see. And that may be true, but then again, as soon as I kind of thought that to myself, you know, we started going by a bunch of these palm trees, and I was like, well, that's kind of nice looking, so what the heck, right? Me, you know, I love trees. I can't help it. I think I do. I like them a lot. What I don't like is Live 55. I just can't stand it. It's just, but I'm in it, whether I like it or not. Here at this point, I'm Live 52 now. Shit. Yeah, that's all right. There's a lot of traffic right now. It is traffic hour. It's 5:15 ish. So what can you do? I did happen to see another one of those signs with the image of, you know, a donkey on it, right? And the implication is that there's wild donkeys out there. And then it occurred to me, well, hang on, Kel. It's probably not donkeys. It's probably what they call burros. I'm guessing burros. It's essentially the same animal, except that, like I think I mentioned, I think a donkey is a hybrid between a horse and a mule. And from what I remember hearing, the rumor was that donkeys were, you know, hybrid to such the extent that they are unable to reproduce. So, an existence of wild donkeys, I think, is something of an impossibility. So burros it is. We're gonna go with burros. It's just that was the first thing that popped into my mind with jackass. Yeah. So let's see. So we are making our way through Phoenix here, and I'm gonna wind up down in not actually Tempe, but Chandler, Arizona is where I will be coming to a rest for the day at Love's over on Sundust, I believe it's called. And to that I have let's see, 24 miles to go. You know, I think it's kind of an interesting thing, and it's funny, right? I don't know. To me, everything's funny. I don't know. What else can you do but laugh, right? That so I was watching a video done by another truck driver out there. I'll mention his channel is Long Haul Larry, right? I've watched a lot of his videos, and he's a cool guy, right? He's just an all-around cool guy. You can tell, like the kind of guy who's like, you know, a best friend to everybody, kind of guy who would, I'm sure, take his shirt off for you, you know, or whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? That kind of guy. Works his ass off, all American. And it was funny. So he was talking about this, and I'm going to talk about it too because it's true, you know. But so you watch the news right now, election year and all that, and it's all this, you know, Trump versus Biden bullshit. Same thing it is every 4 years. It's just two different names or whatever it is, you know. And there's a whole lot more going on in this picture that I could talk about right now, but I'm not going to. But so, and he was mentioning the fact that how like every time you turn on the news, it's all about, and they did this with Hillary too, which is really funny. And it's all talking about how there's, you know, all this massive amounts of people who are pre-voting, you know, for Biden, you know, and already casting ballots for Biden and all this bullshit, right? And it's on the news, it's on like all the channels, like basically getting you to believe that, you know, oh, you know, just vote Biden, blah, 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 right? And then nobody wants to vote in Trump, right? And it's this just bullshit democratic socialist, you know, agenda thing going on, right? It's been going on for years. And so what he was mentioning on his video was about the fact that, yeah, so it's funny because you see all that on the news and the media sources and commercials and all this stuff, but when you travel around the United States, it doesn't matter where you go, you see Trump flags being flown everywhere on the backs of cars and in people's yards and on the side of freeways, and Trump this, Trump that, Trump that. You don't see one Biden flag ever being flown. Not one. I haven't seen not one.
On I-17.
And he was mentioning the same thing. I haven't seen not one. So all this talk on the news that they're telling you that people are, you know, casting for Biden, it couldn't possibly be. It just couldn't be. And it's, well, boy, it's kind of like that with coronavirus too, because they're doing the same thing with coronavirus that they're doing with this. They're telling you all this stuff on the news, but when you go out and you travel the country, they're making you believe that there's sick people all over the place, right? And then you go out and there's no sick people all over the place. Not even close. Not remotely. There's fed up people. They're sick to death with the mental health issues that the people who, you know, say they are leaders are. Yeah, there's that, right? There's your mental health issue is, you know, people who call themselves leaders, politicians. They're the mentally ill. But yeah, so it's funny. I haven't seen one Biden thing fly. But so what caused me to go there right now was that I saw a billboard, one of these digital ones, and it said, you know, and this is Arizona, right? This is not a democratically, you know, state. People out here are, you know, they're big time on their rights. You know, they don't want their rights taken away from them by Democrats, right? And so there was this, you know, electronic billboard, and it said, "Stop the GOP, vote Biden." And I'm thinking, my God, that's the sensibility of the Democratic mindset. Is just, we don't like this, so vote this idiot in, right? We don't like that idiot, so let's vote this idiot in. Like, man, I don't know. There's nothing like to say, like, here's what he wants, you know, this is how he's going to make things better, vote him in. It's like, oh, we just don't like the one who's there, so vote this one in. Like, that's the same thing they did with Hillary. They were doing the same thing with her. And it's just the dumbest mindset you can possibly think of, you know? I mean, here's the truth, is that it does, you know, it's just a name, right? Trump was elected. Deal with it. That's the whole, you know, supposed democratic process. Is it's never permanent. It's not a permanent thing. You only got to deal with it for 4 years. Why are you spending every day of those 4 years trying to, you know, put down the guy that the majority elected in? All you're doing is, you know, making yourself look like fools, right? It's not lasting forever. In 4 years, you get another shot, and if you know, Trump makes it in, it's only 8 years. It's nothing. And really, does any of it have an impact on your day-to-day life? No, except for what you allow it to, right? So just go freaking live your life. Stop freaking complaining. Stop acting like little children and being babies and being sore losers, right? Because it is what it is. Deal with it. Get over it. Go get your fingernails done and get a haircut, or go shopping or do whatever it is what you do with your silly little life. And, and then when the time comes, you can try again. I don't know. It's amazing. But it's like, I don't know. And so you get this guy Biden up there, and he's just a puppet. If there ever was a puppet, he's a puppet. Like, he doesn't even know the facts of which he speaks on. It's so freaking bloody obvious, like, when he talks, that he's just saying what it is that he's been told to say, and that's it. He knows nothing of the things that he's actually discussing, because he can't answer a question. If it gets into a deeper area of what it is that he's trying to talk about, he can't answer it because he doesn't know the facts. He doesn't even know the numbers. So I don't know, it's just funny. And then so you get this little digital sign up there that says, vote Biden, and that's the only thing I've really seen. And it's just a digital sign by somebody who paid money to have it put up. Like, is there actually any Biden supporters? Actually, I kind of don't think so. Maybe some, I don't know. So it's pretty funny, but I mean, that's the way it is. That's, and that's what Trump's been trying to tell everybody about, how, it's fake news, right? It's fake news. It is fake news. They're not telling you the truth. They're telling you what they want you to hear and trying to program you into a mindset in which falls in line with the agenda of those who are running the show. Kind of, right? Big money, big corporations, just trying to program your minds. That's it. That's all it is. And that's not to say that it's not the same way on the Republican side. I'm not saying that at all. I say both sides are fucked. I'm not like, oh, I'm a Republican attacking them. No, I'm like looking at it from a completely different angle, from a completely different perspective. Both of them are fucked. There's no truth in either of them. So my recommendation would be to go start researching what this little thing called the United States really actually is, because it's not what you think it is. It just isn't. It's not what I thought it was. I'm not preaching. I'm not being hypocritical. I was fooled by it too. It's just not what you think it is. Been lying to us all. So I'm not standing on the Republican side of the podium. I understand what the Republican side stands for, but the thing is that you have two parties now, right? The country, supposedly, the United States of America in 1776 was founded as a republic, not a democracy. And there's a difference, and if you don't know the difference, you need to go find it, and so you can understand how it is and why it is that rights were so important to the founders of the country, right? That they put it in writing so that, so it would stand the test of time. And well, there's been a little munchkin trying to eat away at it for a long time. They're still trying to eat away at it. And then I think the question was proposed to me also is, there's all this conspiracy, New World Order stuff, right? Whether it's a real thing or not. Yeah, absolutely, it's a real thing. It's on the back of your money. But so the question was proposed to me is that, well, so then what's the end result? What is it exactly that they're after? What is it that they're what's the big deal? It was a great question. Yeah, you're right. At the time, it just, the words didn't come out of the mouth. But, okay, well, let me ask you this. Like, this New World Order. What was the end result for Hitler? For the Nazi Empire? What was the ideology of Stalin or Lenin? Or Mao Zedong, or whatever his name was? Or, just... And we're not even talking about that long ago. We're talking about within the last 100 years. This is not just ancient history, right? So what was their, end ideology, you know, what was it that they were trying to accomplish, right? So it's like, well, to say that this New World Order thing doesn't have an agenda in mind is kind of naive, right? What was the agenda of the Nazis? You know, nobody really knew at the time, though, is the thing. See, that's the way it always works, is that, you know, anytime in history, the people that are actually going through this, you know, a period of time, they're reading the history from X amount of years ago thinking that, oh, it's all behind us, it's in the past, that's ancient history, that kind of thing doesn't go on anymore. And right now, this period of time is no different. We're still sitting here thinking like the same thing that our ancestors thought, and our ancestors' ancestors thought was, oh, all that stuff happened so long ago, it would never happen again, blah, blah, blah. Hence the saying, if you fail to remember, you know, recognize history, you'll be doomed to repeat it, right? So, you know, freedom, whatever they say, you know, eternal vigilance or something, or I don't know, whatever all that means. You know, I don't know whatever all that means, but there you go. There's my rant on it. It's funny. You see this stuff, you know, you don't see it when you're stuck in a bubble. You know, at quote unquote home, you know, or whatever, wherever home may be for you. What you see is what you get on television. That's what the perception of the remote world is to you, and so therefore that's what you're gonna accept. But the truth is far different. I'm here to tell you. I'm here to tell you it's not what they present it to be, ever. It never is. So that's my rant, and I'll wrap it up with that. So I will see you on down